My beloved child, take a moment to pause and let everything around you become still. There's something beautiful I want you to receive today, a message meant to bring peace, clarity, and a deep sense of security to your heart. I want you to know that these words are not random, they are crafted from my heart to yours. Let go of any distractions and open your spirit to receive this. It's not by accident that you are here now reading this message. My grace and mercy have been a constant covering over your life, even in ways you might not yet see. So I encourage you to take this time to listen intently, because I'm about to pour out my love in a way that will make you feel cherished, protected, and truly blessed. My dear one, when I say you are covered in my grace and mercy, I want you to truly feel the magnitude of those words. This covering is not temporary or fragile, it is eternal and steadfast. From the moment I created you, I enveloped you in a love that transcends any situation, any mistake, and any circumstance you may find yourself in. I need you to understand that my grace and mercy are like a shield around you, protecting you from everything that tries to steal your joy, your peace, and your sense of worth. No matter what you have been through, what mistakes you may have made, or what challenges lie ahead, I want you to be absolutely certain that my grace is bigger. It's more powerful than your doubts, stronger than your fears, and more enduring than any obstacle you could ever face. My grace is what lifts you up when you feel weighed down, what comforts you when your heart feels heavy, and what gives you hope even when it seems like the path ahead is unclear. My mercy, dear one, is my tender compassion towards you. It's what makes me reach out to you with forgiveness when you feel undeserving. I see your heart, I see your heart, I see your efforts and the battles you've fought. Even in the moments when you think you've fallen short, my mercy steps in, not to condemn you, but to lift you back up. My mercy says, you are forgiven, you are free, and you are loved beyond measure. There is no mistake too great, no failure too deep, that my mercy cannot reach. I want you to stop carrying the weight of your regrets and lay them down before me, because I've already washed them away. When I look at you, I see beauty, I see potential, I see someone who is worthy of all the blessings I want to give. Sometimes life has a way of making you forget just how enveloped you are in my grace. The world around you can be harsh and unforgiving. But remember this, you are not defined by the opinions of others, by your past, or by the limitations that you think you have. You are defined by my love, by my grace, and by the mercy I extend to you every single day. Each morning when you wake up, my grace is already there, waiting for you. Every night when you lay your head down to rest, my mercy covers you like a soft blanket, keeping you safe and secure. Even in your toughest moments, when you feel like giving up, I want you to remember that my grace is sufficient for you. It's not dependent on how strong you feel, how perfectly you think you've handled things, or how well you've performed. My grace is there simply because I love you, because I am for you, and because I will never leave your side. You may stumble, but you will not be defeated. You may feel weak, but my strength will uphold you. You may feel lost, but I will guide you gently back to where you belong, in the center of my love, right here in my embrace. If you've ever felt like you are unworthy of this grace and mercy, I want to tell you right now you are worthy, simply because you are mine. I didn't choose you because of your achievements or because of what you could do for me. I chose you because I love you, because I delight in who you are. You are a precious treasure to me, and no mistake or failure can change that. My mercy sees beyond your flaws, beyond your struggles, and it sees the real you, the you that I created, the you that I cherish. In every season of your life, whether in joy or in pain, my grace and mercy have been with you. In times of abundance, they have multiplied your blessings, and in times of lack, they have sustained you. You may not always recognize it, but I want you to look back on your life and see all the moments where I stepped in, where my grace provided for you when you thought there was no way out. Those weren't coincidences, those were acts of my love, designed to show you that you are never alone and never forsaken. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. The same grace and mercy that have carried you through every storm in the past are with you now, in this very moment. Whatever you are facing, know that I am with you, covering you with my presence, surrounding you with my protection, and filling you with my peace. There is no need to fear, because my grace is your shield and my mercy is your comfort. When life feels overwhelming, when the weight of your circumstances seems too heavy to bear, I want you to lean into me. Let my grace be your support and my mercy be your guide. You are not meant to carry these burdens alone. I am here, and I have already made a way for you. My grace will provide, my mercy will restore, and my love will sustain you. Every time you feel like you've reached the end of your strength, that is where my grace begins. Every time you think you've exhausted all options, that's where my mercy opens new doors. There is always more in store for you, my child, because my grace and mercy are limitless. You cannot outgrow them, outlast them, or outuse them. They are renewed for you every single day, fresh and overflowing. I want you to let go of the guilt, the shame, and the fear that have tried to take root in your heart. Those are not from me. What I give you is grace that washes away every stain, mercy that heals every wound, and love that casts out every fear. You are clean, you are whole, and you are deeply, deeply loved. My grace is the safety net that catches you when you fall, and my mercy is the gentle hand that lifts you back up. I see every tear you've cried, every moment of frustration and doubt, and I want you to know that none of it has been in vain. I have been with you in every step, even when you couldn't feel my presence. My grace was holding you, keeping you from breaking, and my mercy was comforting you, whispering hope into your soul. Today, I want you to rest in the assurance that you are covered completely, entirely, and eternally by my grace and mercy. There is no need to strive, no need to prove yourself, and no need to earn my love. It is freely given, poured out for you in abundance. Let go of the burdens you've been carrying and step into the freedom that my grace offers. Let my mercy soothe every anxious thought and bring peace to your heart. I am your refuge, your strong tower, and your ever-present help in times of trouble. My grace will strengthen you when you feel weak, and my mercy will comfort you when you feel weary. You are never outside of my care, never beyond my reach. Even in your darkest hour, my light is with you, guiding you, protecting you, and covering you. So, my child, breathe deeply and let this truth settle into your heart. You are covered in my grace and mercy, now and always. There is nothing that can separate you from my love, nothing that can diminish the power of my grace, and nothing that can exhaust the depth of my mercy. You are safe, you are loved, and you are mine forever. My grace and mercy are like an endless ocean, washing over you continuously, replenishing your spirit and renewing your hope. They are a constant source of strength, a reminder that you are not alone in this journey. Every moment, whether joyful or challenging, is an opportunity for my grace to be revealed and for my mercy to be experienced. You may not always recognize it, but I am intricately woven into every detail of your life. From the smallest blessing to the biggest miracle, I am working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for your good. I see you when you're weary, when the world feels heavy, and when your soul feels burdened. In those times I am closer than ever. My grace surrounds you like a protective embrace, holding you steady, giving you the courage to take one more step forward. You don't have to be perfect to receive my grace, you only need to be willing. My mercy is not something you earn, but something I give freely, because I want you to walk in freedom, peace, and joy. When you think of my grace, think of it as a bridge over troubled waters. It carries you over the waves, keeping you safe even when the current is strong. It's not about avoiding the storms, but about knowing that with my grace you can navigate through them unscathed. My grace is your safe passage through every trial and challenge. It gives you the power to rise above, to endure, and to emerge stronger and wiser on the other side. My mercy, on the other hand, is like the dawn of a new day. It brings light to the darkest places in your heart, renewing your spirit with hope and possibility. No matter how dark the night has been, my mercy is always there to bring a new beginning, a fresh start. It's my way of saying you are forgiven, you are free, and you have another chance. I want you to let go of the past, to release the weight of regret, and to step forward with confidence, knowing that you are covered in my mercy. There may be times when you feel unworthy of my grace, when you question whether you deserve my mercy. But I want you to know that my grace is not about worthiness, it's about love. It's about who I am and who you are to me. My grace is a gift, given out of my desire to see you thrive, to see you live a life full of joy and fulfillment. My mercy is not based on your actions or your ability to always get things right. It's based on my unchanging love for you. I see your heart, I know your struggles, and I choose to show you mercy, to give you a second chance, a third chance, as many chances as it takes, because you are my child. You don't have to hide from me. You don't have to put up walls or try to be something you're not. I see you exactly as you are, and I love you completely. My grace covers your imperfections, and my mercy heals your brokenness. Come to me with all that you are, with all your fears, doubts, and worries, and let my grace and mercy do what only they can: restore you, renew you, and make you whole again. My grace is what allows you to grow, to learn, and to become the person I created you to be. It's the gentle push that encourages you to keep going when you want to give up. It's the whisper of hope when everything around you seems bleak. My mercy, on the other hand, is what catches you when you stumble, what lifts you up when you feel like you've hit rock bottom. Together, my grace and mercy are like two arms embracing you, supporting you, and holding you close. I know there are moments when you feel overwhelmed, when the challenges seem too great and the path ahead seems uncertain. In those moments, remember that my grace is enough. It's enough to sustain you, enough to empower you, and enough to carry you through. When you feel like you can't go on, that's when my grace steps in, filling you with strength you didn't know you had. When you're at your weakest, my grace is at its strongest. It's not just a temporary fix, it's a constant source of life, power, and peace. My mercy is what softens the hardness in your heart. It's what enables you to forgive, to let go, and to move forward without the chains of resentment and bitterness. My mercy gives you the ability to see yourself and others through my eyes, to understand that everyone is in need of grace and forgiveness. When you walk in my mercy, you are walking in freedom, because mercy frees you from the burden of holding on to pain and grudges. It opens the door for healing, for reconciliation, and for true peace. There is nothing that can separate you from my grace and mercy. Not your past, not your failures, not your mistakes. They are like a river, that flows continuously, no matter what. You can always come to me, no matter where you are or what you've done. My grace will meet you right where you are, and my mercy will welcome you with open arms. You are never too far gone, never too broken, and never too lost for my grace to find you and for my mercy to restore you. I want you to live in the fullness of my grace and mercy, to wake up every day knowing that you are loved, cherished, and protected, to go through each moment with the confidence that comes from being covered by my grace and guided by my mercy. I want you to see yourself as I see you, worthy, beautiful, and whole. My grace gives you the power to rise above every challenge, and my mercy gives you the freedom to let go of every burden. Remember, my grace and mercy are not just for special occasions, they are for every day, every moment. They are for the big things and the small things, for the moments when you feel strong and the moments when you feel weak. They are for when you feel confident and for when you feel afraid. They are for every part of your life, because I am with you in every part of your life. You are covered in my grace and mercy when you wake up in the morning, when you go about your day, and when you rest at night. They are like a garment that you wear, a shield that protects you, and a light that guides you. Wherever you go, whatever you face, know that my grace is your strength and my mercy is your comfort. Let this truth sink deep into your heart. You are never alone. My grace and mercy are with you always, surrounding you, covering you, and filling you with peace. Trust in them, rely on them, and let them lead you into the abundant life I have prepared for you. You are covered, my child, in grace that never runs out and in mercy that knows no end. You are mine, and I will never let you go. My grace and mercy are a part of who I am, and they flow to you freely. I want you to grasp the fullness of these gifts because they are meant to uplift you, to heal you, and to remind you of your true identity as my beloved. My grace is the unmerited favor I have placed upon your life, covering you in ways you cannot even imagine. It's there when you succeed and when you struggle, when you feel worthy and when you feel like you've failed. It's what keeps you standing when everything else around you seems to be crumbling. There is no condition for my grace, no requirements that you need to fulfill. It is given to you simply because you are mine and because I love you more than you can comprehend. You don't have to be perfect to receive my grace. You don't have to have all the answers or always know the right path. My grace is enough for you exactly where you are, and it is the force that will guide you toward where you need to be. My mercy, dear one, is my response to every hurt, every sorrow, and every mistake. It is my way of reaching down and lifting you up, saying, I see you, and I am here to heal you. My mercy is my heart's response to your pain, and it comes to you not with condemnation but with compassion. It's what moves me to comfort you, to dry your tears, and to remind you that your story is not over yet. When I look at you, I see the fullness of who you are, not just your mistakes or shortcomings, but your potential, your beauty, and the purpose I have placed within you. When you feel burdened by guilt or shame, my mercy whispers to you, you are forgiven. When you feel lost and uncertain, my mercy says, I am your guide. And when you feel like giving up, my mercy holds you close and says, don't worry, I've got you. You are never too far gone for my mercy. No matter how many times you stumble, my mercy is always there to catch you, to heal you, and to bring you back into my embrace. Every time you doubt whether you deserve my love, remember this: my grace and mercy are not about what you deserve. They are about who I am. They are about the depth of my love for you, a love that goes beyond understanding, a love that reaches into the darkest places and brings light. You don't have to earn my grace or prove yourself worthy of my mercy. They are gifts freely given because you are my precious child, You are mine and I am yours. Let my grace be the foundation upon which you build your life. It is a firm and unshakable foundation, one that cannot be moved by the storms of life. It will support you through every challenge, strengthen you in every trial, and lift you up when you feel like you cannot go on. My grace is your constant companion, walking beside you, protecting you, and giving you the courage to keep moving forward, even when the way is unclear. And let my mercy be the gentle balm that soothes your soul. It is the healing touch that mends your broken heart, the comfort that wraps around you in times of sorrow, and the peace that stills the turmoil within you. My mercy is what allows you to forgive yourself, to release the weight of your past, and to embrace the hope of a new future. It is what tells you you are loved, you are valued, and you are precious beyond measure. There is no end to my grace, no limit to my mercy. They are as infinite as the sky, as boundless as the ocean. You can draw upon them as often as you need, and they will never run dry. You can come to me in your weakness, in your weariness, and in your brokenness, and my grace will give you strength, and my mercy will restore your soul. I will never turn you away. I will never grow tired of you. I will never stop loving you. Even when you feel undeserving, my grace covers you. Even when you feel unlovable, my mercy reaches out to you. There is nothing you can do that will separate you from my grace and mercy. They are yours now and forever, because you are mine. You are the one I cherish, the one I hold close, and I will never let you go. Trust in my grace to be your guide, your strength, and your support. Let it fill you with hope and courage, knowing that you are never alone. And trust in my mercy to be your comfort, your peace, and your healing. Let it remind you that no matter how many times you fall, I am always here to pick you up. My grace and mercy are my promises to you, promises that will never be broken. You are covered, my child, completely and eternally. My grace is like a robe that I have placed around your shoulders, covering you in favor, in protection, and in blessing. My mercy is like a gentle rain that washes away every burden, every fear, and every doubt. Wherever you go, whatever you face, my grace and mercy go with you, surrounding you, shielding you, and uplifting you. When the world tries to tell you that you are not enough, remember my grace. When you feel overwhelmed by your own shortcomings, remember my mercy. You are enough because I have made you enough. You are worthy because I have called you worthy. My grace and mercy define who you are, not your mistakes, not your failures, and not your fears. I see your heart. I know your struggles, and I understand your pain. And I want you to know that there is nothing you have to face alone. My grace will give you the strength to keep going, and my mercy will give you the peace to keep believing. I am with you in every step, in every moment, and in every breath. You are covered in my grace and mercy, surrounded by my love, and held in my hands. Let this truth be the song of your heart, the light in your darkness, and the hope that carries you through every challenge. You are mine and I am yours forever and always. You are my beloved, and I will never let you go. My grace is your strength, and my mercy is your comfort. My love is your refuge, and my presence is your home. So stand tall, my child. Walk in the confidence of my grace, rest in the peace of my mercy, and live in the fullness of my love. You are embraced by my grace and mercy, like a child wrapped in a warm and loving embrace. It is not just something I give, it is who I am, and I pour it out upon you in abundance. My grace is the unshakable foundation that holds you up when everything around you is uncertain. It's the assurance that you are never alone, that I am with you, and that I will never let you go. My grace is what allows you to rise above every circumstance, no matter how difficult or overwhelming it may seem. When you stumble or feel weak, my grace reaches down and lifts you up, reminding you that your strength is not in your own abilities but in my power. It whispers to you, you are capable because I am with you. When you feel small and insignificant, my grace says, you matter because you are mine. When you feel like you have nothing left to give, my grace fills you, renewing your strength and restoring your hope. My mercy, on the other hand, is what meets you at your lowest points. It's the gentle touch that wipes away your tears, the voice that speaks tenderly to your heart, and the balm that heals your deepest wounds. My mercy is what turns your mourning into joy, your despair into hope, and your brokenness into wholeness. It is my promise to you that no matter how many times you feel like you've fallen, no matter how many mistakes you think you've made, I am always here, ready to extend forgiveness, ready to offer a fresh start. When you feel weighed down by guilt or regret, my mercy steps in saying, let it go, because I have already forgiven you. When you feel like you failed or let yourself or others down, my mercy says, there is grace for this moment, and there is no condemnation in my presence. My mercy is not about overlooking your mistakes, it's about healing them, transforming them, and using them to create something beautiful in your life. You are covered in my grace and mercy, like a child enveloped in a loving embrace. They shield you, protect you, and remind you that you are never outside of my love. There is no shadow too dark, no valley too deep, and no mountain too high that my grace cannot reach. Wherever you are, whatever you're facing, my grace is there to sustain you. And when you feel lost, my mercy is there to guide you back to me. I know there are times when you feel unworthy, when you question whether you deserve my love, my grace, or my mercy. But I want you to understand this deeply. My grace and mercy are not about what you deserve. They are about who I am and how I see you. I see you as precious, as cherished, as someone worth fighting for. You are my beloved, and I delight in you. You don't have to strive to earn my grace or work to deserve my mercy. They are given freely, because I want you to know how deeply you are loved. Even when you don't feel it, even when circumstances try to convince you otherwise, my grace and mercy are there. They are the unseen hands that lift you up, the quiet strength that keeps you moving forward, and the constant presence that surrounds you. When everything else seems uncertain, when the path ahead seems unclear, and when the future feels daunting, remember that my grace will always be your guide, and my mercy will always be your comfort. You are not defined by your mistakes or your past. You are defined by my love, by my grace, and by my mercy. They are the marks of who you are, a beloved child, chosen and cherished, covered and protected. There is nothing you can do to make me love you more, and there is nothing you can do to make me love you less. My grace and mercy are not dependent on your actions, they are anchored in my unchanging nature. When you feel overwhelmed, when life's pressures seem too heavy to bear, lean into my grace. It will give you the strength to keep going, the courage to face whatever comes, and the peace to rest in the knowledge that I am with you. My grace will turn your weakness into strength, your doubts into faith, and your fears into confidence. It is the power that lifts you above every trial and carries you through every storm. And when you feel burdened by shame or regret, when you are weighed down by the mistakes of the past, let my mercy wash over you. It will cleanse you, renew you, and set you free. My mercy is like a river, flowing continuously, bringing healing and restoration to every part of your heart. It whispers to you, you are forgiven, you are redeemed, and you are free. You don't have to carry the weight of your past any longer. Lay it down at my feet, and let my mercy set you free. My grace and mercy are not just for your darkest moments, they are for every moment. They are there when you wake up in the morning, giving you the strength to face the day. They are there when you go to sleep at night, bringing peace to your heart and rest to your soul. They are with you in the mundane and the miraculous, in the ordinary and the extraordinary. They are my constant gifts to you because I want you to live in the fullness of my love. Let my grace be your security, your assurance that no matter what happens, I am in control and I am working all things together for your good. Let it remind you that you don't have to have all the answers, because I do. You don't have to have it all together, because I am holding you together. My grace is sufficient for every challenge, every trial, and every fear. And let my mercy be your freedom. It is my promise to you that there is no mistake too great, no failure too final, that can separate you from my love. My mercy says, you are not defined by what you've done, you are defined by who you are to me. My mercy is the gentle voice that calls you back when you've wandered, the loving hand that lifts you up when you've fallen, and the constant reminder that you are more than your past, more than your mistakes, and more than your fears. You are covered completely and eternally in my grace and mercy. They are the gifts I give to you, not because of anything you have done, but because of who I am and because of who you are to me. Let them be your anchor, your strength, and your peace. My grace and mercy surround you every moment of every day. They are the essence of my presence, like a gentle breeze that caresses your spirit, bringing comfort, assurance, and peace. Wherever you go, they go with you. Whatever you face, they stand as a testament to my unwavering commitment to you. I want you to truly grasp this truth, that you are not alone, not for a single second. You are held securely in my grace and covered completely by my mercy. My grace is the strength that allows you to rise each morning, even when the weight of the world feels heavy upon your shoulders. It's what gives you courage to take the next step, to keep moving forward, even when you're unsure of what lies ahead. It's the soft, steady voice that whispers, you can do this because I am with you, and when you feel like giving up, when the journey seems too long or the road too rough, my grace is what carries you through. It is a power greater than your own, a resilience that comes not from within but from my unchanging love for you. There will be times when you feel inadequate, when you wonder if you have what it takes to overcome the challenges before you. In those moments, remember this: my grace is more than enough. It is sufficient for every trial, every struggle, every fear. When you feel weak, my grace will be your strength. When you feel lost, it will be your guide. When you feel overwhelmed, it will be your peace. You don't have to rely on your own abilities because my grace is your provision. My mercy, on the other hand, is my loving response to your every sorrow, every mistake, and every regret. It is the compassionate hand that reaches out to you saying, I see your pain, and I am here to heal it. My mercy does not keep a record of your wrongs. It does not hold your past against you. It sees beyond your mistakes, beyond your regrets, and it focuses on your heart. My mercy is my way of telling you that you are forgiven, that you are free, and that there is no need to carry the weight of guilt or shame any longer. When you think of my mercy, think of a gentle rain that falls upon a dry and weary land, bringing life, renewal, and refreshment. It soaks into the deepest parts of your soul, cleansing away every burden, every fear, and every doubt. My mercy does not just cover your sins, it washes them away completely, leaving you pure, whole, and radiant in my sight. You are not defined by your past mistakes, but by my mercy that transforms and renews you. You don't have to be perfect to receive my mercy. You don't have to be free of flaws to experience my grace. They are given to you because I love you, because I want you to live in freedom and fullness. When you stumble, my mercy is there to pick you up. When you stray, my mercy is there to guide you back. And when you are weary, my mercy is there to give you rest. You are never beyond my reach, never too far gone for my grace and mercy to find you and restore you. There is no need to hide your brokenness from me. I see every part of you, the beautiful and the broken, the strong and the weak. And I love you just the same. My grace is what covers your weaknesses, turning them into strengths. My mercy is what heals your wounds, making you whole again. When you come to me, you don't have to pretend to be something you're not. You can bring your true self with all your fears, doubts, and imperfections, and I will cover you with my grace and surround you with my mercy. In those moments when you feel like you're not enough, when you feel like you've failed, I want you to remember that my grace and mercy are more than enough. My grace is not a reward for good behavior, it is a gift, given freely, because I see who you are, my precious child, my beloved one. My mercy is not something you earn, it is the overflow of my love for you. It is my promise that no matter what, you are never beyond hope, never beyond hope, never beyond forgiveness, and never beyond my love. When the storms of life rage around you, when the waves of fear and anxiety threaten to pull you under, my grace is the anchor that holds you steady. It is the foundation beneath your feet, the firm place on which you can stand, no matter how fierce the storm. My grace does not waver or change, it is constant, unshakable, and eternal. And my mercy is the lifeline that reaches out to you, pulling you to safety, drawing you back to me when the world tries to pull you away. You are not alone in your struggles. I see every battle you face, every tear you cry, and every doubt that crosses your mind. And I am with you in every one of those moments. My grace is what gives you the strength to keep going, even when you feel like you can't take another step. My mercy is what comforts you when the pain feels too much to bear. Together, my grace and mercy are the constant presence that remind you you are never alone. You are always loved. When you feel lost or uncertain, turn to my grace. It will light the path before you, showing you the way, even when the road seems dark and unclear. It is the compass that points you back to me, guiding you gently and surely. And when you feel broken or weary, rest in my mercy. It will soothe your soul, bringing peace to your heart and rest to your spirit. My mercy is like a gentle embrace, holding you close, whispering to you, "It's okay. You're safe here with me." I want you to live in the freedom that my grace and mercy provide. I want you to walk each day with the confidence that comes from knowing you are completely and eternally loved. You don't have to carry the weight of fear, guilt, or shame any longer. You don't have to strive or struggle to prove yourself worthy. You are already worthy simply because you are mine. My grace and mercy have declared it so. Let my grace be your strength, the assurance that no matter what comes, I am with you. Let it remind you that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by my love. My grace is what lifts you up when you feel weak, what gives you courage when you feel afraid, and what steadies you when everything else feels uncertain. And let my mercy be your peace, the gentle reminder that you are forgiven, redeemed, and cherished beyond measure. There is no fear in my presence, only grace. There is no condemnation in my arms, only mercy. You are safe with me, covered and protected. My grace is your shield, and my mercy is your refuge. You are surrounded by my love, wrapped in my embrace, and held securely in my hands. When doubts try to creep in, when fears try to take hold, remember that my grace and mercy are greater than anything you face. They are the light that shines in the darkness, the hope that never fades, and the love that never fails. You are covered, completely and eternally by my grace and mercy. They are your strength, your comfort, and your peace. I want you to breathe deeply and let go of every burden, every fear, and every doubt. Let my grace fill you with hope, reminding you that there is always a way forward, always a reason to keep going. Let my mercy wash over you, cleansing away every worry, every regret, and every pain. You are free, my child, free to live in the fullness of my love, free to be who I created you to be. No matter what comes, no matter what you face, my grace and mercy will always be enough. They will always be there, surrounding you, covering you, and filling you with my peace. You are not defined by your past, your mistakes, or your struggles. You are defined by my love, my grace, and my mercy. They are the truth of who you are, a beloved child, cherished beyond measure, covered completely and eternally in my grace and mercy. So walk in that truth. Let it be your foundation, your strength, and your peace. My grace and mercy are your constant companions, your unshakable assurance, and your eternal covering. You are never alone, never abandoned, and never beyond my reach. My grace and mercy will be with you through every season, every moment, and every experience of your life. They are my promise to you, a covenant that stands firm regardless of the circumstances. Even when everything else around you seems unstable, my grace is the solid ground beneath your feet, a foundation that will never crack or falter. It is the assurance that no matter what you are going through, I am here, holding you steady, guiding your steps and lighting your way. When you feel overwhelmed by the trials of life, when the weight of the world feels like too much to bear, turn to my grace. It is the force that will uplift you, the power that will sustain you, and the strength that will carry you through. My grace is not just a lifeline, it is a source of constant renewal, giving you the courage and fortitude to rise above every challenge, to face every fear, and to emerge victorious. You are never alone in your battles because my grace is always with you, fighting on your behalf, standing beside you, and filling you with hope. There will be times when you question yourself, when doubts creep in and you wonder if you have what it takes. In those moments, lean into my grace. Let it remind you that you don't have to rely on your own strength, because I am your strength. You don't have to have all the answers, because I am your guide. My grace is not something that comes and goes, it is a constant presence, an unchanging reality. It is the very breath of life that fills your lungs, the quiet assurance that whispers to you, I am here, and I am enough. And when you feel burdened by mistakes, when regret and guilt weigh heavy on your heart, turn to my mercy. My mercy is like a healing balm that soothes every wound, like a gentle hand that lifts every burden. It does not look at your failures with judgment, it sees beyond them, to the heart that longs for healing and restoration. My mercy does not condemn, it redeems. It takes the broken pieces of your life and gently puts them back together, creating something beautiful and whole. You don't have to carry the weight of your past any longer. You don't have to bear the burden of shame or guilt. My mercy has already covered it all, washed it away, and made you new. When I look at you, I don't see your mistakes, I see my beloved child, perfect and whole in my sight. My mercy is the freedom that allows you to let go of what was and embrace what can be. It is the promise that no matter how many times you've fallen, I am always here to lift you up again. When you feel lost, my grace will show you the way. When you feel broken, my mercy will make you whole. And when you feel afraid, my love will remind you that you are never alone. These gifts are not temporary or conditional, they are eternal and unchanging. They are my promise to you, a promise that will never be broken. You are covered, completely and eternally, in my grace and mercy. Let my grace be the wings that lift you above every storm, the strength that empowers you to rise even when the winds of adversity blow against you. It is not just a safety net, it is a force that propels you forward, that gives you the courage to dream big and live boldly. My grace is what transforms your weaknesses into strengths, your fears into faith, and your doubts into courage. It is the power that enables you to be more than a conqueror, to walk in victory, and to live a life filled with purpose and passion. And let my mercy be your place of rest, the quiet space where you can lay down every burden, every regret, and every fear. My mercy is not just for your moments of failure, it is for every moment of your life. It is what frees you from the chains of the past, what allows you to move forward without fear or hesitation. My mercy is what says you are forgiven, you are free, you are loved beyond measure. There is no limit to my grace, no end to my mercy. You cannot exhaust them, outrun them, or outgrow them. They are with you from the moment you take your first breath until the moment you take your last, and they will be with you beyond that, into eternity. My grace is your strength, your shield, and your song. My mercy is your comfort, your peace, and your joy. Together, they are the foundation of your life, the truth of who you are. I want you to walk in the confidence of knowing that you are covered completely and eternally. My grace will never fail you, and my mercy will never run dry. You are not defined by what others say about you, not defined by your circumstances, and not defined by your past. You are defined by my love, by my grace, and by my mercy. They are the truth of who you are, the unshakable reality that anchors your soul. When the world tries to tell you that you are not enough, remember my grace. It says, you are more than enough. Because I am with you when fear tries to tell you that you will fail, remember my grace. It says you can do all things because I am your strength, and when guilt tries to tell you that you are beyond redemption, remember my mercy. It says you are forgiven, you are free, and you are forever mine. You don't have to strive or struggle to earn my grace and mercy. They are gifts freely given because I love you more than words can express. You don't have to perform or prove yourself worthy. You are already worthy simply because you are mine. My grace and mercy are not rewards for good behavior. They are my loving response to your every need, my promise to be with you, no matter what. So stand tall, my beloved child. Walk in the light of my grace and the peace of my mercy. Let them be your guide, your strength, and your comfort. When the path ahead seems uncertain, my grace will light the way. When the journey feels long and weary, my mercy will give you rest. You are never alone, never abandoned, and never outside of my love. My grace will sustain you through every storm, and my mercy will renew you after every battle. You are covered completely and eternally. Let that truth fill your heart with peace, your spirit with joy, and your soul with hope. You are mine now and forever, and I will never let you go. You are covered, cherished, and deeply loved today, tomorrow, and always.